Hello and welcome back to the garden. And it's this time of year that I'm working in the shade borders. The spring display is long over and all I'm left with now is a lot of debris to clean up. Now I'll only clean up probably the first 10 feet in the border. Behind me, I just leave it. You can't actually see that far in. You've got to make jobs easier for yourself. But what I'm going to do today, I've got a plant to dig out. I've got a very dead Leucotho. Don't know what happened. There's one on the other side which is growing fine. This one, it appears to have been caught by the frost. I've had quite a few late frosts this year, so I'm going to dig that one out. This rhododendron, this isn't doing too good. It's gone very yellow. Don't understand why, because I have them either side, behind me. They're all doing brilliantly. The only thing I can think of is I've got moles in this border and they're burrowing their way around, and I think they may have harmed the roots. They may have damaged the roots. So we'll leave it for a while, see if it recovers this year, and if not, it'll have to come out. Now I like to clean the Brunnera up this time of year, and it does help to get new growth. And I'll just cut the flowers all the way back down to the base of the plant. You don't have to do this, but I like just to have the leaf cover going into the summer. And I think it makes for a cleaner, neater looking plant. And it does help it to produce new leaves because obviously it's not going to seed. Plants, the Brunnera cut back at the front, cut back all of the flower spikes, and they'll produce lovely new fresh leaves in a couple of weeks' time. But now I'm just digging out a fern. It's one of these heart-tongue fern, Astilbe. It's one of our native ferns. It's wasted in here, and I do love how vibrant it looks on the front since I've added the mulch. So I've got one in here which is completely lost amongst all of the Astilbes. So I'm going to dig it out and I'm going to add it further along. I'm going to extend this swoop. So I've got this one here, and I've already dug another one out from somewhere else. Trying to make the most of what I've got. But I have bought a few more Brunneras. This one's quite a big fern. It seems such a pity for it to be hidden away in the back here. quite the size, and it's very heavy. Now, for anyone that's new to the channel, this area is the top of the quarry. The depth of soil originally was only about an inch, and what I had to do, what a waste that would have been stuck at the back. What I had to do was dig out all of the stone. It's very brittle sandstone. It comes out in sections. Sometimes big sections, sometimes small sections. But it comes out easily with a fork. It's just time consuming. But this section around the front, I've worked it for the last couple of years now, since I started this border two or so years ago. I think that's okay. And I've mulched the area every year to add new soil, new compost, farmyard manure, anything that I can get my hands on really. Just to enrich the soil, because it's quite impoverished soil. But these ferns, one of our native ferns, they'll grow anywhere in very shallow soil. I've got them grown all over the garden. They grow out of walls too, so they don't need to be planted with a lot of good compost. I'm not adding anything to the planting hole. I'm just using the soil that's here. Now that would have been wasted, stuck way at the back. Now I've got one more, which I'm trying to get into the ground here, but you can hear the stone, so I've got a little bit of work to do. So let me do that before I put the next one in. Now this one I've dug out from just behind me here, behind this this shrub. Got quite a few of them underneath the beech tree. They've obviously seeded around. So I think this one will just end this swoop quite nicely. It's not open as much as the others because it's a lot more shaded under there. So it'll open up in the next couple of days. It's a little bit brighter at the very front of this border. So I've decided to add one more fern just where the spade is there. And I'm going to dig another one out around the back here. It's going to go through the border here. You can see this is where I'm up to with the clean up, but I've got quite a few more around here. So I'm going to dig that one out. Now please note, this is the absolute wrong time of year to be digging a plant out of the ground to transplant. No matter how careful you are, you will damage the very small roots that take up water. So this is definitely a case of don't do as I do, but do as I say. Don't dig them up. It's definitely the wrong time of year. I have a big garden and I have an awful lot of these around. It's 50-50 whether it'll survive. The chances are I will damage the roots, but regardless of that, I'm going to do it and I'm going to dig it up. Only do this if you can afford to lose the plant. It's not good gardening practice. It's a little bit smaller than the others, but it should grow pretty quickly. It's got a lot more light now than what it had when it was tucked away in there. But the secret is, if you're doing this, if you're chancing it, like I have this time of year, water it well, keep it well watered, because obviously here it's quite in a windy spot and we've got a little bit warmer weather at the moment and it may struggle, but fingers crossed it'll survive. So the next job is to add a couple of more Brunneras, and this is Alexander's Great. Did I call it Alexander the Great before? I certainly got that wrong. It's Alexander's Great. And this can grow, I think about 3 feet in height and width. I don't have those optimum conditions here, so it'll never grow that big. And that's why the spacing that I'm putting these in at slightly smaller. I would have spaced them further apart if it had been in a different spot. But because of the spot that I'm adding it to, I think it should be okay. And at the end of the day, all you have to do, if they do grow to the huge sizes that they see on the label that they can grow to, I will just dig it out and split it, and it's always more plants. And hopefully you can see, because it's very shaded in here. I'm conscious of the fact it's very dark, so hopefully it doesn't impact the quality of the film, the video. But I'll just put this last one in here. And I don't know how much further round I'm going to go with this, whether I'm going to continue with this theme. Not quite sure yet. The next job is to dig an Astilbe out. Now this is an Astilbe called Dark Side of the Moon, and I'd tried for a long time to actually get a hold of one, and I planted this well over a year ago, and it just has not done well at all. I don't know what it is, whether it's the soil here, because I mean look at the other Astilbes, they're just huge. This has barely come out of the ground, so it's obviously not liking the spot that I planted it in. So I'm going to pot it on for now. I don't have anywhere for it to go yet. I'm going to pot it on, see if I can get it to grow this year. And what I'm going to do is add another one of these Astilbes, and the one I've got is a young one that I got from the garden centre, and it's Delft Lace. And it's exactly the same as the ones that I planted here. I think there's about 5 or 6 of them. I'm going to plant this one here. I know this one does good, likes the conditions. So I'll plant this one. Hopefully it's nothing in the ground here. But I'll plant this one and see what happens this time. Basically because I wanted to extend the run of Astilbes here. But we'll see. It does look a different colour because when the leaves first come out, they're very purple, which is very pretty. And then they turn a lovely green colour. But hopefully it should survive okay. Time will tell. So the last plant that I'm adding today in this shade border is a hydrangea. Now it's a mop-head macrophylla hydrangea because they're the only type that'll do well in the shade for me. Obviously it's not sunny enough for a paniculata, a panicle one, which I would much prefer. I have 2 hydrangeas, red ones here and over the far side there. Now they did get caught this year by heavy frosts, so I don't know whether I'll get any flowers off them. So this is a gamble putting another one in. I'm just hoping as they mature, because they were very young plants when I put them in last year, that they get stronger and bigger. And if you do lose a plant to the frost or lose flowers to the frost, the plant is big enough to respond and hopefully provide some blooms on that year. So we'll see. So I'm adding it here. Just going to put a little bit of this mycorrhizal fungi in the planting hole, and if I can actually manage to get some on the roots of the shrub, the bottom of the shrub, I'll add them there, but it's a particular heavy one, so I'm not quite sure. I don't use this for everything, but I have had success with them, adding them for hydrangeas. So just a spoonful all over the planting hole, and it just promotes good root growth. Root growth. Get it right. I know some people don't believe in it, some people don't like it, but I've had good results with it, so I'm going to continue to use it. Whoa, and it's heavy. Very heavy. And I'm not going to be able to lift it up to get anything on the roots, so I'll just have to put it in as it is. It's too heavy. That's a good depth. And if it looks good and the three of them do well over the next year or two, I'll take out the other Locoso and add a fourth one over the other side, just to give the border a bit of flow. Well, that's it for today. It's been a good day. I feel like I've achieved something today, but I've got to carry on to the rest of this front of this border. I'm about 2/3 the way along, and then I've got the other huge border on the other side, which I've not really developed as yet, but that's a future project. So I'd just like to say thanks for watching again, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.